Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. We had a good night's rest, and my special gratitude to all of those who tuned in last night as we celebrated Shabbat, but also celebrated our wonderful graduates, and it was a much needed, I think, for me, grounding and an inspiration and a reminder that while we are very much in struggling moments, that there is this remarkable generation of young people who I have had the chance to get to know over the last few years, who have shown me that while our failures, previous generations' failures, may be real, and the impacts are clearly obvious, of both inaction and action, that there is always hope. And that hope is renewed with every generation of young people who come into the world with a consciousness and with a willingness to have an impact. And our young people fit that category to a T. So it was really very, very special for me personally, and I hope for those that had a chance. And even if you didn't, it's on YouTube and I think on Facebook that you can go and watch it anytime that you'd like. So I highly recommend it. In any case, it is lovely to be here this morning in our beautiful sanctuary, missing all of you certainly, but excited to celebrate Shabbat. So we're going to start as we always do with just a little bit of a wake-up, a little nigun to get us going. We'll do on a bakoach again. Ya lai la lai la lai, ya lai la lai la lai, ya lai la lai la lai, ya lai la lai, ya lai la 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 lai, ya lai la la lai la lai la la lai, ya la lai la la lai la lai la lai, ya lai la la lai la lai la lai lai, ya la lai ya lai la lai, ya lai la 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 lai, ya la lai la lai, ya lai la 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 lai, ya la 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 lai, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Before we get started with our service, we'll just take a moment for ourselves, and if you feel comfortable, would like to close your eyes just to reflect for a few brief moments. We open our eyes, let's take a deep breath in, let a deep breath out, and we'll open our Sidurim, our prayer books, either online or in person, to page 186 as we begin our service with gratitude. Modeh ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam, modeh thanks to you, Adonai, ever-living sovereign, that you have restored my soul to me in mercy. How great is your trust. Turn now to page 192, top of the page, Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenoteh Israel. Mahatovu Ohalecha Yaakov Mishkenotecha Israel. Turn now to page 194, and we'll read together in Hebrew the blessing for our bodies. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhmah, uvara vo nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim. Galui v'yadua lifnei chisech vodecha, she'im yipatech echad mehem, o yisatem echad mehem, אי-אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. Baruch atah Adonai rofech kol basar umafli la'asot. Page 196, a prayer for our souls. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorai. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorai. Elohai neshama shenatata Tehora, Tehorai, Elohai neshama shenatata bi Tehorai, Elohai neshama shenatata bi Tehorai. Please join with me in the bottom of page 197. My soul came to me pure, drawn from the reservoir of the holy. All the time it remains within me, I am thankful for its thirst for compassion and justice. Let my eyes behold the beauty of all creatures. Let my hands know the privilege of righteous deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biado nefesh kol chai, veruach kol b'sarish. If we're able at home, please rise as we turn to page 198, as we offer a series of blessings and gratitude for daily miracles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasach bivina, le'afchid min yom u'bein layla. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten laya'ef koach. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir shena minai utnuma me'afapai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifarah. Hey, please be seated at home. We'll turn together now to page 205 as we read the second reading in the middle of the page, a blessing for the study of Torah. From the cowardice that shrinks from new truth, from the laziness that is content with half-truths, from the arrogance that thinks it knows all truth, O God of truth, deliver us. Blessed is Adonai, teacher of Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. now to page 206. Elu devarim she'ein lahem shiur, she'adam ochel piroteihem be'olam hazeh, ve'akeren kayemet lo le'olam haba, ve'elu hen kibud av ba'em ugmilut chasadim, ve'hashkamat beit hamidrash shacharit ve'aravit, ve'achnasat orchim u'bikur cholim, ve'achnasat kalal bayat hamet v'yun tefila, ve'avat shalom men adam lachavero, ve'talmud Torah keneged kulam. We rise at home if we are able as we turn to page 212 for the opening blessing of Bezukei de Zimra. Baruch shehamar ve'haya haolam baruch hu, baruch hoseh bereshit, baruch omer ve'yosef, baruch gozer u'mekayem, baruch merachem al haaretz, baruch merachem al habriot, baruch meshalem sachar tov livreav, baruch alad v'kayam lanetzach, baruch podeh u'matziel, baruch shemo, bishvachot u'bizmirot negadelcha, u'nshabecha nefayercha v'nazkir shimcha v'namlichecha malkeinu Eloheinu, yachid chei ha'olamim, melech meshubach u'mufar deyad shemo hagadol, baruch atah Adonai, melech mehulal batishbachot. Turn now to page 214, the second line down in Hebrew. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, lehagid baboker chastecha, lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatcha ba'alelot, ve'emunatcha ba'alelot, tov lehodot l'Adonai, alei asur ve'alei navel, alei gayon bechinur, ki simachtani Adonai befo'alecha, v'maaseh yadecha aranen, maganu maaseh chaya, me'od amku machshevotecha, maganu maaseh chaya, me'od amku machshevotecha, magalu maaseh chaya, me'od amku machshevotecha. Ashrei Yoshvei veitecha, od yehalelucha, od yehalelucha, Ashrei Yoshvei veitecha, od ve'ad olam. Hallelujah. 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 Turn now to page 218, very top of the page. Hallelujah, 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 El Bekocho, hallelujah, Berkiauzo, hallelujah, Big Murotav, hallelujah, Kerokulo, hallelujah, 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 beteka shofar, hallelujah, benevel bechinor, hallelujah, betofu machol, hallelujah, beminim veugav, hallelujah, 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 betziatzalei shama, hallelujah, betziatzalei trua, kol hanshama, tehalelia, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Now on the top of page 219. Nishmat kol chai tevarech et shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. Continue silently. Now on page 220, very top of the page. Ilu finu maleh shira kayam ulshoneinu rina kamon galav vesiftotenu shevach kemarchevei rakiam veinenu meirot kashemesh vechayareach Ve'yadinu frusot kenishrei shamayim Ve'raglenu kalot kayalot Ein anachnu maspikim lehodot lecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Continue silently. We're now on page 222, the middle paragraph in Hebrew. Shochenan marom v'kadosh shemo v'chatur hanenu tzadikim Adonai, la yesharim nava tehila, befi yesharim titalalu divrei tzadikim, titbarachu bilshon chasidim, titromamu v'kerev kedoshim, titkadashu ma'kehalot, rivevot amcha beit Yisrael merinait pa'am, shimcha malkeinu bechol dor, v'ador yabavai yabavai bye bye bye, yabavai yabavai bye bye, bye 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 bye, yabavai bye bye bye, yabavai yabavai bye bye. We now rise, if we're able, at home as we turn to page 223 for the concluding blessing Apazukei de Zimra, and remain standing through the Chatzi Kaddish and the Baruch Hu on the next set of pages. Yishtabach shimcha alad malkeinu, ha'el ha'melech hagadol v'hakadosh b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, ki lecha na'e Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, sherushmacha lev'zimra u'zumemshala netzach, gedula u'pura, tila v'tiferet, kedusha u'malchut, brachot ve'hodaot, me'ata v'ad olam, baruch ata Adonai, el melech gadol v'tishbachot, el ההודעות אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך מלכי העולמים. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברח קרותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון וביומכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל, בהגלה ובזמן קריב במהרו אמן. יש מרבה מברך, לעולם לעלמי עלמיים, יתברך וישתבח, בדבר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשא בריחו, לעילם עם כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירת בעלמה במהרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. Please be seated. So we're going to turn first to page 229 and read the reading at the top of the page, and then we'll bounce back to 228 for Or Chadash, the last three lines in Hebrew. In the beginning, even then, a new light was sown for the righteous. A promise that your light would become the catalyst, first for order and then for hope. Author of language and light, help us to use words as you have, to cast light into dark waters and draw out justice and truth. Or Chadash al Tzion Ta'ir, Or Chadash al Tzion Ta'ir, ונזכחו לנו me'era bam, yadadai, dai, bim bam, yadadai, dai, bim bim bam, yadadai, dai, dai. Yadadai, dai, bim bim bam, yadadai, dai, bim bam, yadadai, dai, bim bim bam, yadadai, dai, dai. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMe'orot. Turn now to page 230, and we'll begin by reading together at the top of the page in English and then the Hebrew at the bottom. How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion. On account of our forebears, whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life, be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. V'ha'erinenu b'toratecha v'dabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yachel levaveinu le'ahava u'lira et shemecha v'lo Agadol v'adora batachnu Nagila v'nismecha v'yeshuatecha Ve'avienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot haaretz Ve'tolichenu komemiyut le'artzeinu Ki el poel yeshuot ata ubahanu v'acharta Ve'keravtanu le'shimcha Hagadol selah b'emet Lehodot lecha yechidcha b'ahava Baruch atah Adonai Abocher be'amo Yisrael mi'ava Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha Bechol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha Ve'hayu advarim ha'ele Asher anochi metzavcha Hayom al levavecha V'shinatam levanecha V'dibarta bam V'shivtecha b'beitecha U'b'lechtecha b'derech U'shofbecha u'vkumecha U'kshartam leot al yadecha Ve'hayu letotafot b'einenecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Turn to page 236. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta alehem v'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei bigdehem ledorotam menatnu al tzitzit al kanaf betil techelet Ve'haya lachem letzitzit uritam oto uschartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam ve'lo taturu acharei levavchem me'acharei einechem asher atem zonim achareihem leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem mi'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Turn together now to the top of page 239. We'll read in English. Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness, there is your word. Emet, let pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established, now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice. Bye 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 bye. Ya bye 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 bye. Ay bye 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 bye. Tehilot le'el elyon baruch hu melorach Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Israel lechanu shira besimcha rabba ve'amru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh Nora tehilot osef elei bye 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 ya bye 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 Shira chadasha shibchu geulim Leshimcha al svatayam Yachad kulam hodu Ve'imlichu ve'ameru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed Tzor Yisrael Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael Ufidei chinumecha Yehuda be'Yisrael Go aleinu Adonai tzva'ot shemo Kedosh Yisrael Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. We remain standing as we begin the Amidah together on page 242 and then continue silently. Please go at your own pace, and when you're finished, you may be seated. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. So ask those who are seated and would like to or able to rise to please rise, and those standing, please remain standing as we turn to page 324 for the repetition of the Amidah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Ve'hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Ve'koneh Hakol Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם וזרעת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע מוריד הטל מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים צומח נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. We're on page 326. נקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום ככתוב על יד אביך וקרא זה אל זה ואמר קדוש 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 Adonai Tzevaot Melech Kol Haaretz Kevodo Nadir Adirenu Adonai Adonenu Madir Shimcha Bechol Haaretz Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo Echad hu Eloheinu hu Avinu Malkeinu Moshienu ve'hu yashmienu berachamav le'nei kol chai ani Adonai Elohechem yimloch Adonai le'olam Elohayich Tzion ledor vador Hallelujah. Page 328. Ledor vador Ledor vador, ledor vador, nagi god lecha. Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagi god lecha. Ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatcha nakdish, kedushatcha nakdish. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated at home. Now on the top of page 329. Ismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei, 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 Shabbat ve'korei oneg Shabbat Yismechu ve'malechutecha Shomrei, 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 Shabbat ve'korei oneg Shabbat Aha mekadshei, mekadshei shvi Shabbat Kulam yisbeu ve'yitangu mitu v'chashabat yismechu ve'malechutecha Shomrei, 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 Shabbat ve'korei oneg Shabbat תשמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, חמדת ימים אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. זכר למעשה בראשית שבת, זכר למעשה בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, רצה רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך, שבנו מטובך ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו, עין 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 לי 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 באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו ישראל מקדשי שמך, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Okay, we're on page 330. We'll read together in English in the middle of the page. On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us to hear your call. Grant us enough health to fulfill our duties and the compassion we need to attend to others. Teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves and the charity to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levatcha b'yirat navod. Turn now to page 332, and beginning at the bottom of the page, we'll read each paragraph and end each paragraph with the words Modim anachnu lach in Hebrew, offering our gratitude and thanks to God for all of these gifts. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations, Modim anachnu lach. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, Modim anachnu lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression, Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared, Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom, Modim anachnu lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose, Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulechane lehodot. Page 334, Sim Shalom, a prayer for peace. Sim Shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha, borcheinu yotzreinu kulanu kechad, be'or panecha, ki be'or panecha natata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Sim Shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha, Torah chaim ve'ahavat chesed, u'tzedaka u'veracha berachamim v'chaim v'shalom. Sim Shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha, ve'tov beinecha lebarech et amcha Yisrael, bechol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל, עמך. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. Let's read together on the bottom of page 336. I need strength, humility, courage, patience. Strength to control my passions, humility to assess my own worth, courage to rise above defeats, patience to cleanse myself of imperfections, and wisdom to learn and live by our sacred teachings. Let me not be discouraged by my failings. Let me take heart from all that is good and noble in my character. Keep me from falling victim to cynicism. Teach me sincerity and enthusiasm. Endow me with perception and courage that I may serve others with compassion and love. Ose shalom nimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel. We now turn to page 362 for Seder Kriyat Torah, the Torah service. Again, page 362. If you are able at home, please do rise. Ein kamocha b'Elohim Adonai v'ein k'ma'asecha malchutcha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai barech et amo v'shalom.
עצי תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. אחד אלוהינו גדול אדוננו קדוש שמו. גדול אדוני תהיו נרוממה שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד, כי כה בשמיים ובארץ, כי כה בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני הממלכה והמתנשא לכל אנוש. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להקדשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להקדשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. רוממו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. רוממו.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So this morning takes a little bit of explanation as to what portion we are actually reading, and I explained it a little bit last night, and it relates to a conversation actually from a few weeks ago in Torah study about the challenge of the 2-day Yontif, as it's called, the 2 days of Chag that are observed in most cases throughout the diaspora, the traditional variety. However, the Reform movement in the United States follows the calendar of the land of Israel, in which there is, unless there is specified to be 2, like in the case of Rosh Hashanah, that there is 1 day of Yontif. So ultimately, this means for us is that Thursday evening began the holiday of Shavuot. That holiday ended according to the Israeli calendar and the Reform calendar as of the beginning of Shabbat last night. Therefore, this is just a regular Shabbat, and therefore we are reading a regular Torah reading which we would normally read, which is Parshat Naso. So here's the rub. For again, the rest of the Jewish world that observes 2 days of Yontif, for them, what happens on the second day of Shavuot, if it falls on Shabbat, is that you have a different reading than you normally would have from the regular Parsha. So what the Reform movement does to reconcile this, because otherwise what will happen is as of next Shabbat, we are then going to be in a staggered process until it would eventually catch up later on in the summer. What the Reform movement generally does is to split the Parsha into 2 pieces. So in other words, to read part 1 of Parshat Naso this week, and part 2 of Parshat Naso next week. Which is actually not so bad in this case, because Naso is actually the longest single Parsha in the Torah. It's like 120-something verses. So in any case, this morning we're going to focus on the earlier part of Parshat Naso, and we're going to leave the latter part for reading and discussion next week. So, I want to focus this morning on chapter 5 of the book of Numbers. So if you're following at home and you have a plowed chumash, it's on page 925, and if you're in the Women's Torah commentary, it is on page 820. So again, Women's Commentary 820, plowed chumash 925, and if you're looking at a different source, you are looking for the book of Numbers, chapter 5, beginning with the first verse. So I'm just going to read a few of these verses as an entree to the discussion. But just to remember that we are sort of situated in a period of time in the Torah in which most of what we've been discussing so far in the book of Bamidbar the book of Numbers has been first a census, right, an accounting of in particular, how many able-bodied male soldiers there are and how they are contributed from the various tribes. And then much of the last few chapters have really been specifically about the Kohanim and really actually about the Levi'im, the Levites, and their responsibilities in terms of both encampment and how to break down the Mishkan for travel and how to reconstruct it. And then we now get back into some of the conversation about how this system of worship in the form of sacrifices and the social order that resulted from it, how it's ultimately meant to function. So we start to get back into some of the legal minutiae, right? What is supposed to happen when a certain event takes place, and how is it meant to be dealt with, both individually and communally? So that's the setting for what I'm about to read. So beginning again at the start of chapter 5. Oh, I realize actually I'm a little further in. Women's commentary actually begins on page 819. My apologies. So it begins. Adonai spoke to Moses saying, instruct the Israelites to remove from camp anyone with an eruption or a discharge, tzarua, which is this thing that we've talked about before, tzarat, this sort of God-given scaly disease that is often translated as leprosy, but as something else. And ultimately speaking, anybody who has this eruption or discharge, anyone defiled by a corpse, anyone who comes into contact with a dead body, remove the male and female alike. In other words, this is a law that applies to both men and women, and put them outside the camp so that they do not defile the camp of those in whose midst I dwell. So this is not really what we're going to focus on, but again, just sort of reiterating what was an earlier conversation in the book of Leviticus about what is meant to happen in the event that somebody displays this particular affliction. And whether we like it or not, their process was to essentially take the person and remove themselves from camp, not indefinitely, but for a period of time in order for hopefully the affliction to be cured and then for them to be brought back in. And the logic, again, is there can be many layers of logic, but on a simplest form, it's a matter of containing something before it becomes a larger outbreak. So again, that's not really what I want to focus on this morning, but it is an important context nonetheless. Okay? So why is this the case, right? So that they don't basically affect this holy space because God is ultimately dwelling amongst. So verse 4, the Israelites did so, putting them outside the camp as Adonai had spoken to Moses, and so the Israelites did. Now here's where we get into the focus of some stuff here. Adonai spoke to Moses saying, speak to the Israelites. When men or women individually commit any wrong toward a fellow human being, thus breaking faith with Adonai, and they realize their guilt, they shall confess the wrong that they have done. And then it goes on to explain how that actually takes place and the financial restitution of it. But again, I want to emphasize this again. When men or women individually commit any wrong toward a fellow human being, thus breaking faith with Adonai, and they realize their guilt, they shall confess the wrong that they have done. So we have a lot of information that is present here, right? A lot of important ideas. First, again, men and women. Okay, so we're talking about the possibility of anyone in the community making a mistake. And certainly in our day and age, we can understand this within the transgender spectrum as well. Right? This is meant as an inclusive statement to suggest that this is not something that is restricted to one gender or another gender, one group of people or another group of people, that what is to follow is important for everyone to consider. And when it says, right, when an individual commits any wrong towards another individual, this action is a matter of breaking faith with Adonai. In Hebrew, lim'ol ma'al. And this phrase again appears in the earlier part of Leviticus, and I'll get into an explanation of sort of what it's really talking about, but it ties directly the acts of one human against another human and the impact and the effect that that ultimately has on God, right? This idea of breaking faith. As Judy Hollander will help teach us a little bit about next week when we get to the conversation about the sotah, about a woman who's accused of adultery. This is the same kind of phraseology. The idea of adultery in biblical times, in the Torah times, is a matter of breaking faith. So that same terminology in this case is talked about in terms of our relationship with God. So we need to understand, again, just to make sure we're absolutely certain and understanding and clear about this, that our violation of practice, of social practice, of religious practice, of social norms, and of law between ourselves and another human individual is not just about the two of us. It is also about God. It is about a relationship with God, and as we'll see in a second, not just even about that. Okay, but should this thing happen, this is the next key piece, and they realize their guilt. So this is an important, very, very important piece of this. Okay, the realization of that guilt. How many times we in our lives inadvertently do something or unintentionally do something that has a real and tangible impact on another person? Sometimes we don't even realize what we have done until it is too late. So the Torah is telling us that the act of thinking about and contemplating and coming to the realization that we have done something wrong is an important factor that can't be skipped over. And then ultimately, if they have gotten to this point of realization, then they shall go and confess the wrong that they have done. And then, as I said, we get a description of the restitution that takes place, which is mostly financial. So now I want to bring in some commentary here because I want to try to take this core idea and expand upon it just a little bit. So first I want to share something from the Orach Chaim, who was Chaim Ibn Attar, who was, I think, 18th century Morocco, if I'm not mistaken, one of the great rabbinic commentators of the beginnings of the modern period, end of the medieval period, end of the 1700s, early 1600s, 1700s. So he writes as follows. Now the commentary on this verse, and the soul will be considered guilty. Right? So what is he talking about? In the Hebrew itself, it uses the word nefesh. Right? So it's talking about, he's already making a statement that this isn't just about a corporeal issue. This is about the soul of the individuals involved. Okay? And when that soul, ultimately speaking, is considered guilty, inasmuch as the person is guilty, and this is, all right, just one other explanatory piece. Because of various commentaries, the understanding of this verse is that it's related to a very specific action. It's not talking generally, it's talking about a situation in which a Jewish person takes advantage of a proselyte, right? Somebody who is interested in potentially converting to Judaism but has not yet done it. Okay? So the Torah suddenly, so in this case, right, inasmuch as that person is guilty of perjury, so then what happens basically is that if, in this instance, it's referring to somebody who basically has lied about their involvement in this whatever act that was taken against, financially in particular, against the proselyte, and that basically there is also lying involved in this, or a lack of acceptance of responsibility or behavior. Okay? So inasmuch as that person is guilty of perjury, the Orach Chaim teaches, he has caused damage to his very soul. And then he notes, the Torah suddenly switches to the use of the singular, although previously it had spoken about people in the plural committing sins. So what he's saying is that actually if you read before, and actually as you'll see as you read after, that generally speaking when the Torah is talking about violations and sins, it's using a communal terminology, the grammatical form that implies we are all potentially responsible. But in here it gets into the very specific and the very individual, and then it talks even within the individual about the soul. Afterwards, when the Torah discusses the sinner confessing his sin, it again uses the plural, and then it shifts back to the plural. It says. You will note that the Torah did not write that the soul of the sinner, i.e. nafsho, is guilty, but it writes hanefesh hahi. So he points out that if it was really talking about an individual sin, so to speak, then it would use the much easier terminology of nafsho, right? Nefesh shelo, which means that person's soul. But instead, it uses this odd phrase, hanefesh hahi. So what is this about? Orach Chaim says that this is a reference to the collective soul of the Jewish people, which has become tarnished through one of its members committing perjury. Okay, so I want you to hold that idea in mind. But it's basically to say that an individual who does something wrong in this context, in the Torah context, and really in the basis of Judaism as a whole, has the potential not just to hurt another person, not just to hurt their own individual soul, not just to hurt the relationship with God, but also to affect the entire people. That's a really, really, really important concept to take in. So I want to just take this another step further, and to use the Tur HaAroch, who has a commentary on this idea of lim'ol ma'al, this idea of committing some kind of treachery or some kind of breaking of faith, ultimately, as it was translated before. The Torah means that the guilty party not only stole, but swore an oath in the name of Hashem, denying that he had done so. Right? So this emphasizes, again, the nature of not just the mistake itself, but in perjuring oneself by saying that they're not responsible, and then ultimately not taking responsibility for. So next I just want to go, just a couple more, but to the Chizkuni, and Chizkuni teaches as follows. And he's picking up on verse 2, in which it says, or verse 6, I should say, Ve'ashama hanefesh ahi v'hit vadu, and the soul shall be guilty and confess. Rabbi Natan claims that this is a line that can be used universally for all such trespasses, that the first step in rehabilitation of the sinner must be the confession of having committed the trespass in the first place. Okay? So while on the one hand, many commentaries, again, try to make this discussion much more narrow about perjury, about wronging a proselyte, right? What ultimately Chizkuni is saying here, and quoting Rabbi Natan, is that in fact, actually, that this is a principle or a law or an expectation that actually should be applied much more broadly. And it's really about this idea of what do we do when we violate this social contract that we have with other people, with other human beings. And ultimately speaking, what do we do to rectify it? And the first steps, again, are realization, right? Contemplation and consideration of behavior and acknowledgement of mistake, and then admitting that out loud, publicly, right, in front of the other people that were affected and in front of God, in front of the whole community, and then working to restore the trust that has been violated as a result. So, of course, I'm sure, like many of you, I have been watching and thinking about the news for the last few weeks. In some ways I've worried that as a result of the pandemic, we have focused so much attention on that, deservedly so, that we have paid less attention to the ongoing challenges of humanity that were there before the pandemic, are certainly still apparent now, and will likely be with us in the future unless we do something. And so, of course, as we are seeing both the brutal killing of an innocent man, or a man who certainly should not have had been killed by police officers, and then to see the resulting protests that eventually become riots, we are all struggling with what all of this is meant to mean to us, and what are we meant to do about it. And so all of these words today have been extremely helpful, and certainly for myself, in processing. And as I was preparing this morning, I happened to come across a colleague of mine, Rabbi Ari Lorge of Central Synagogue, who himself had taught something earlier this week from a speech that Dr. Martin Luther King had given in Stanford University in 1967. And I posted that on my personal Facebook page and on the Temple's Facebook page. The entirety of that presentation is online, and I really suggest watching it in its entirety. But one of the phrases that Rabbi Lorge pulled out, which I think speaks to a moment like this, is he says, in the final analysis, a riot is the language of the unheard. And then he asks the poignant question, and what is it then that America has failed to hear? In some ways, this all relates back to our Torah portion this morning. And first, of this idea of both individual guilt and responsibility and collective guilt and responsibility. Those that actually do terrible acts, and those of us who, in many cases, have not done enough to prevent that from becoming a normal, accepted part of society. And as we've learned in this case, the first step towards trying to find a way forward to repairing the broken relationships, and ultimately to repair our broken relationship with God as a result of it, is by first being able to be introspective and to consider the ways in which, either directly or indirectly, consciously or unconsciously, everyone who calls this country a home is affected by or affects the fact that we clearly live in a society in which people are treated differently based upon the color of their skin. Even 50-something years after Dr. King's speech in the late 60s, we sit here and it seems as if nothing has ultimately changed. Perhaps it has, but not sufficiently enough. And so part of, I think, as I said, the first step here is for us to do some introspection, to do some consideration and some thinking, really deep thinking about what has been done. And even if we feel like we ourselves are not the perpetrators of the racism and the hatred and the bigotry that underlies all of this, we are still part of this system in one form or the other. And I think we have to do a certain amount of public acknowledgement of that reality, and we have to take responsibility for that. And we have to understand that while what we have seen may be resultant because of an individual and another individual, or a group of individuals and another group of individuals, that as the Torah teaches us and as the commentaries teach us here, that really this is a much larger question. This is about the souls of all of us, the soul of this country. The basis by which everything else functions is how we consider the humanity of the people that we share our world with, and how we ensure and work hard to make sure that everyone is treated with a fairness and an equity that the Torah tells us is built into creation. We are the perversion of justice. Human beings are the perversion of justice. God gave us the form, and we have failed to live up to it in every generation and in every place. Not any one group of people, but all of us collectively. And just as it affects all of us collectively, the only way in which we can truly make a change is to act collectively as well. To take responsibility, to admit guilt, and to do so with an eye towards growth and towards understanding and towards peace. Not to beat ourselves in the chest, not to make ourselves feel that the weight of the world rests only on our shoulders, but simply as a not so gentle reminder that we do not come into this world or leave this world without interacting with and affecting and being affected by the other people that we share it with. So I hope that this morning's drash gives us all a little something to think about, regardless of where we may think in the matter of the matters at hand, that we really have a lot to think about and to discuss. So I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, and as I said, we're going to read the first 10 verses of chapter 5 this morning, chapter 5 of the book of Numbers, which begins on page 819 in the Women's Commentary, and on page 925 in the Plaut Chumash.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam ba'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Tzav et bnei Yisrael, vayishalechu min hamachaneh, kol tzarua vechol zav, vechol tamei lenafesh, mizachar ad nekeva teshalechu, el michutz lamachaneh, ששלחום ולא יטמאו את מחניהם אשר אני שוכן בתוכם ויעשו כן בני ישראל וישלחו אותם אל מחוץ למחניהם כאשר דיבר אדוני אל משה כן עשו בני ישראל. וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, איש או אישה, כי יעשו מכל חטאות האדם, למעול מעל באדוני, ואשמה הנפש ההיא. והתוודו את חטאתם אשר עשו, והשיב את אשמו בראשו, וחמישתו יוסף עליו, ונתן לאשר אשם לו. ואם אין לאיש גואל להשיב השם אליו השם, המושב לאדוני לכהן מלבד אל הכיפורים אשר יכפר בו עליו, וכל תרומה לכל קודשי בני ישראל אשר asher yakrivu lakohen. Asher yakrivu lakohen lo yem. Ve'ish et kodshav lo iyu. Ish asher yitein lekohen lo yiyeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. So before we move any further with our Torah still in our midst, we will take a moment to offer our Mishaberach, our prayer for healing. And of course, in addition to those that we will mention out loud, we will think of all those around the world who are still suffering, and we have, as we've done the last months, to also be thinking about the healers and the people supporting the healers who are trying to do, as they say, God's work on earth. So we'll turn to page 371 back in our prayer books to offer our prayer for healing. Mishaberach Avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yevarech et hacholim ha'elu. We think of Christopher Houlihan this morning, Nancy DeMatte, Andrew Lesser, Linda Shapiro, Joanne Sanborn, Jean Ben Sadoun, Gloria Taradash, Andrea Klausner, Judy Stern, Miriam Cornfield, Roz Brody, Chana Ruth Batsara, Marlise Silverberg, Louis Davidson, Susan Spruce, Vagel Tzipora Bat Elisheva Batsara, Richard Gambino, Michelle Sawicki, Idel Basha Bat Yitzchak, Tzvi Menachem Ben Chaim, Rivka Bat Devora, Amy and Gavin Tucker, Janice Kurz, David Dowling, Neil Elliott and Eileen Rosen, Israel Ben Yitzchak, Ben Sion Ben Moshe, Lorraine Danis, Buddy Kassoff, Shelley Newmark, David Kyle Klopman, Rivka Bat Rachel, Sarah Bat Chana, Moshe Eliezer Ben Sivia, Peretz Ben Yehuda, and Leah Bat Naomi. If you're thinking of anyone else this morning who we've not mentioned yet, please, by all means, mention their names now. Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem Lahachalimam L'Rabotam L'Chazikam V'Yishlach Lehem Mehera Refuah Refuah Shlema Min HaShamayim Refuat HaNefesh Refuat HaGuf Hashtav Agalav Zman Kariv V'Nomar Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are suffering. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say together, Amen. El Refana La, El Refana La, El Refana La, Refuah Shelema, El Refana Lo, El Refana Lo. Now I'll ask those at home who are able to please rise as we lift and dress the Torah. Yamdu hamagbiya ve'agolel ve'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai bi'ad Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Okay, please be seated at home. This morning's Haftarah for Parshat Naso is found, if you have a plot chumash at home, on page
947. And if you're following at home on another platform or another book, you're looking for the book of Judges, chapter 13, verses 2 to 25. Again, book of Judges, chapter 13, verses 2 to 25. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nviim tovim v'ratzav v'divrehem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo b'nviei ha'emet b'tzedek. There was a certain man named Manoach from Zorah. He was of the Danite clan, and his wife was barren, never having given birth. One day an angel of the Eternal appeared to the woman and said to her, "Yes, you are barren and unable till now to have children, but you shall be pregnant and give birth to a son. Take care not to drink wine or beer or eat anything impure, for you shall soon be pregnant and give birth to a boy. His hair is never to be cut, because from the womb he is God's Nazarite. He will begin to liberate Israel from the hand of the Philistines." Should start to sound a little familiar. The woman went and told her husband, "A man of God came to me. He looked like an angel of God, very frightening. I didn't ask him where he had come from, and he didn't tell me what his name was. All he said to me was this: 'You shall soon be pregnant and give birth to a boy. You are not to drink wine or beer, nor eat impure food, because the boy shall be God's Nazarite from the womb to the day of his death.' Manoach then turned to the Eternal in prayer, saying, 'Eternal One, please let your messenger return to us and teach us how to bring up our child.' God listened to Manoach's prayer, and the angel of God returned to the woman as she was sitting in the field. And again, her husband Manoach was not there. The woman ran quickly and told her husband, 'The man who came here the other day has shown up again.' So Manoach followed his wife and came to the man, saying to him, 'Are you the man who spoke to my wife?' 'Yes, I am,' he answered. 'May your words come true,' said Manoach. 'What do you prescribe for the boy? What is he to do?' The angel of the Eternal said to Manoach, 'Your wife must do exactly as I instructed her. She must eat nothing that comes from a grapevine. She must not drink wine or beer. She must eat nothing impure. Let her do exactly as I instructed her.' Then Manoach said to the angel of the Eternal, 'Please, let us hold you back a little while we cook a small animal for you to eat.' The angel of the Eternal said to him, 'Even if you were to detain me, I would not eat your food, and if you want to make a burnt offering, offer it up to the Eternal.' Manoach had not realized that this was an angel of the Eternal. Manoach then said to the angel, 'What is your name? We would like to honor you when your words come true.' 'Why is it,' said the angel of the Eternal, 'that you ask my name? It belongs to another order.' So Manoach took the kid and some grain, put it on a rock, and offered it up to the Eternal as Manoach and his wife watched. They saw something extraordinary. As the flame rose skyward from the altar, the angel of the Eternal went up in the flame. Seeing this, Manoach and his wife threw themselves to the ground face downward. Only then did Manoach understand that this was truly an angel of the Eternal. Never again did the angel of the Eternal appear to Manoach and his wife. So Manoach said to his wife, 'We shall surely die because we have seen a divine being.' But his wife answered him, 'Had the Eternal intended to take our lives, God would not have taken from us a burnt offering and a meal offering, and would not have shown us all this and given such a message just now.' In time, the woman gave birth to a child. She called him Shimshon, Samson. The boy grew up with the blessing of the Eternal, and the Spirit of the Eternal first began to move him in the encampment of Dan between Zorach and Eshtaol. So again, if you didn't know the origin story of Samson, there you have it. Back in our prayer books, page 372, a blessing after the Haftarah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim tzadik bechol adorot, האל הנאמן האומר ויוסף, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק,
על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת Amen.
Now ask those who are able at home to please rise as we turn to page 376, first to offer a prayer for our country, especially needed now, and a prayer for the state of Israel. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace, and may we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. Prayer for the state of Israel, page 377. Avinu Shabashamayim Tzur Yisrael v'Goalo Barech et Medinat Yisrael Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu Hagen Aleha be'evrat chastecha Ufros Alea Sukat Shalomecha Ushlach Orcha v'Amitcha l'Rasheha Sareha v'Yoatzeha V'taknem be'etzah tova milfanecha V'natata Shalom ba'aretz V'simchat Olam liyoshveha V'nomar Amen. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. We remain standing as we return the Torah to the Ark, page 374.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נזכר שמו לבדו, הודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לעמו, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל עם קרובו, הללויה. נתתי לכם תורתי, אל תעזובו את חיימי, למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר, דרכיה דרכי נועם, וכל נתיבותיה Shalom, Hashivenu Adonai, Elecha ben Hashuva, Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu,
Remain standing as we turn to page 586 at the bottom of the page, Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, L'Atet Gedula L'Yotzer Breshit, Shelo Asanu Kigoyei HaRatzot, Velo Samanu Kimishpechot Adama, Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem, Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad. I'll ask those in mourning and those observing yahrzeit to please remain standing at home if you are able. Everyone else may be seated. We think of those who passed in recent months. First, Nancy Fisher, Saul Fisher, Sandra Friedman, Maya Rosofsky, Vera Shaps, Lisa Schneidman, Norma Small, Joanna Vega, Marky Reynolds, and Rita Salman. We also mark the yahrzeits that occurred during the last week for Miriam Brandolini, Jack Berger, Sylvia Burt, Minyan Fichtelberg, Barbara Friedman, Jewel Gumbel, Samuel Hurwitz, Arnold Jacoby, Aaron Knopf, Samuel Lewis, Sam Siegelwax, Morris Simon, Susan Wolfson, and Charlotte Wolk. If you have another name of someone for whom you're saying Kaddish today, this would be a time to share those names aloud at home. We'll join together on page 598, Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'yalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha berichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, ta'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shalom araba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Zichronam livracha, may every one of their memories be for a blessing. Please be seated at home. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Just a few announcements before we conclude our service. The first is just a reminder that Torah study will begin at 12 o'clock online on Zoom. Hopefully you have the information. If you don't, please email me and should have enough time to get you all set up. And a reminder that next Shabbat is our Torah Women's Commentary Shabbat, and we're very, very honored that Judy Hollander will be teaching and facilitating our conversation. And our thank you, of course, to Ruth Joseph, who makes all of these arrangements for every month and supports our teachers. And a reminder that we are always looking for new voices. And even though you may feel like you're not up to the task, please don't assume that. Come to us. Let us try to help as best as we can. The more voices we have, especially on Women's Torah Commentary Shabbatot, the better and the more important. So again, that will be next Saturday, Torah study at noon. A few other upcoming events. Social Justice Committee will be meeting on Monday at 5 o'clock via Zoom. And again, my gratitude to everyone who's already volunteered and to our co-chairs, Andy and Alyssa, for a really remarkable amount of work over the last few months, and the impact is very clear. So thank you, truly, to all of you who've already helped out, and we are always in need of others. Inevitably, there is attrition, for lack of a better term. People can't continue to volunteer in the same way that they had, so we are constantly in need of new bodies, new voices, new ideas, all of those things. So please contact me, Andy, Alyssa, Shelley, anybody, and we can put each other in touch and go from there. Also, I hope that you saw that upcoming, certainly starting in June, and we will be adding more and more programs throughout the rest of the summer, but that I will be teaching a couple different classes. Wednesday evenings at 7 o'clock, a class I call the Top 10 Texts, but really it's a class about texts that have been particularly meaningful from our wide tradition that I don't always have a chance to discuss or to get deep into. So again, those will be Wednesday evenings at 7 o'clock. Requires no previous Judaic knowledge of any sort, but it does require pre-registration. Thursday mornings at 11:30, Jill Ehrlitz will once again lead gentle yoga, and again by Zoom, but please do register for that as well. And on Fridays at 9 o'clock, I will teach my class as I taught last summer on Pirkei Avot, picking up from the previous year. Again, does not require any background knowledge, but if you're going to be joining us for the first time, maybe let me know so that I can prime you a little bit before we get started with that class, and all of these will run through the rest of the summer. Also, Friday mornings at 10:30 on Facebook Live, Lou is going to share a PJ Library book for our youngest and to do a little bit of Shabbat preparation with them. So it's a great thing for your grandkids, kids, whatever it might be. Please let them know. It's free and open to anybody that has access to Facebook. So again, look for that beginning next Friday, 10:30.
Also, that beginning next Shabbat, 7 p.m., even though it's not quite the end of Shabbat, in order for it to be a family event in our case and to involve Eva and allow us as parents to help put her to sleep, we'll be joining online at 7 o'clock for a Havdalah service, a service to separate us from the end of Shabbat to the beginning of the new week. It won't be long, just a few minutes to say the brachot and perhaps a little bit of contemplation and goal setting for the rest of the week. But please do join us for that. That also will require just a pre-registration, so I know you're interested, although that one we may change going forward a little bit. So with that, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, and we're going to conclude our service, and then as I said, 12 o'clock on Zoom, we will join for Torah study. So I'm just going to get my oversized Manischewitz bottle here ready, and we're going to conclude our service with Adon Olam and then Kiddush. So Adon Olam can be found on page 625. Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa bechefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא אחד לאין שנים להמשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי בצרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו, הפקיד רוחי. בית אישן והעירה, ואם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא And we'll now turn back to page 604, and if you have your grape juice or wine handy, now would be the time. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו סברי וחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. Amen. Okay. Hi, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Hope to see some of you online in just a few minutes, but if not, have a wonderful, safe week, and we'll see you next week online. Shabbat Shalom.